Hey everybody, I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are entering our top 50.
The good games.
But as always, before we get started, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content, and of course hit that bell icon if you want notification of future content.
And follow the link below if you want to follow us on all of our social media.
All right, top 50. I feel like this part's been a long time coming. You ready? No? No? Okay, I feel it is. But anyway, we'll get started with number 50. All right, my number 50, I was trying to remember if this was already a crossover. I don't think it was. I think I'm remembering it from a different video. But my number 50 is one we picked up this past year at Gen Con. It's a cooperative. Very simple game about rescuing zoo animals. This is Miller Zoo.
No.
I don't think so. I think I was thinking of our
Nope, that was in my 2023.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right. So anyway, so my number 50 is Miller Zoo.
It's all about the refugee animals. Refugee animals.
That's a callback to our 2023 video.
Check it out.
Yeah. Anyhow. All right. So Miller Zoo is one, like I said, we picked up at Gen Con after playing it for a couple of times. Very light cooperative game. Still lots of strategy involved, and lots of theme involved, I think, but it's not super complex. It is light in terms of the mechanisms involved. So what you're doing is that each round, everybody is drawing 4 cards to start the round out with, and these cards give you
Resources.
a series of icons. Whether they be food for the animals or playtime for the animals or various things. Everybody can see everybody's icons, and you're trying to work out as a team who is best equipped to go to various cages to take care of the animals involved. Because at the very beginning, each of the animals requires certain needs. So meanwhile, you're not only trying to take care of the animals that are already in the zoo, but you're trying to recruit more into. You're trying to rescue. You're trying to rescue more animals. You win the game if you can clear the rescue stack. You lose if you run out of cards. We've done both. So we've got about a 50-50 ratio on this one. It seems really easy. But it is, complexity-wise, it is easy, but it is still not easy to win.
No, it's not.
So, and there's a I don't want to call it even a campaign. It's not really a campaign, but there is a progression that you can do through the game.
Yeah, because you're everybody's their own player, and then you'll get things.
Yeah.
You'll get certain abilities for each character.
Yeah.
You'll start getting
more things. Yeah,
just more things.
Basically, there's some legacy envelopes in the box.
Yeah, there's a bunch of envelopes. So, we don't want to give away too much there.
No, I don't want to. We've only played the first couple, so we can't give away too much. But it seems, I don't know. I'm looking forward to finishing this one up and to playing through the legacy aspect of it to see what it does. But anyway, that is my number 50, Miller Zoo.
Okay. My number 50 was a complete accident.
Okay. I'm going to need more information.
You could say it was a filler game that we bought. And when I say filler, it meant we were filling the order so we could get free shipping.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this was an accident.
This is The Captain is Dead, and the version we're talking about is, well, there's not really a difference in the version.
There is no, the only difference in the version is the player
we have
pieces,
the original Game Crafter version. We've played both versions, and there's no difference except for the acrylic standees.
Yeah.
One's got the acrylic clear standees, the other one's got little plastic standees that have stickers on them.
Generic plastic standees.
But this is all about, you are on a ship, your captain is dead, and now it's up to the crew to get away from the aliens that are attacking your ship, get your jump core up so you can take off and like I said, the whole time the aliens are attacking your ship, blowing things up, taking things out, knocking your computer offline, knocking the
just causing havoc in general.
The
Lots of
transporter
havoc.
offline. You've got missiles you can build to shoot, but if they knock that on it, you can't get that. So yeah. So the whole time everybody's trying to keep everything running while the sole engineer is trying to get his get the jump core up and keeping the shields up as well.
Yes.
Because as the shields drop all the way down, then game over too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you basically go through the deck in the base game. You're going through the deck until the card comes up saying game over. You lose.
Ship explodes. You're done.
Yeah. Or
simple as that.
You get the jump core up and you get out of there.
Yeah.
But this can be a lot of fun, especially when you get, because there's anomalies.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
you can get a couple of anomalies that's legendary in this game. Is one of them is you cannot activate a room with anybody else in it.
Yes.
You can only. Then you get an anomaly that you can't activate any room unless there's two people in it, and both of them are up. The only room that's not affected is the science lab, where that's where you're taking care of the anomalies.
But still, in order to take care of the anomalies, you have to have science cards. You can't get the science cards unless you do something in another room, and you can't do that if both anomalies are up.
Yep. Yeah, and it makes it even more fun when the transporter's down too.
Yeah, we lost that game.
Yep. So
I mean, I love this one because it plays 7 players, and it goes 2 to 7, and it is just as competitive at both player counts, I think. And we've played it 7 player.
Yes.
It is chaotic to say the least, but oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
Yeah. Anyway, that is my number 50. The captain is dead.
All right. All right, my number 49 is a Kickstarter we received, I want to say earlier this year. Earlier last year, since it's January now. The theme appealed to us because it involves a lot of hiking and biking and kayaking, even though we've never been kayaking.
Wow, that's this high up.
Yes, okay. I really enjoyed this one. But anyway, this is Trailblazers. This is a small card game it comes in a bigger box because it comes with a series of animal meeples that work with some of the modules in it. But the game is portable with the Kickstarter anyway. You've got this little all-weather carrying case that you could take it out on the trail with you and play on the trail. The cards are made out of a plasticky type material so that they are weather resistant. I wouldn't call them weatherproof, but definitely weather resistant.
Yeah, because they can still blow away.
Yes. So with this game, you have 3 base camps. And 3 of the first 4 rounds, you are adding a base camp to your tableau area, to your campsites. And from those base camps, you are building out either biking trails, hiking trails, or kayaking river trails, with the goal being to loop them back into the same base camp, which sounds easy. It is not. It is very easy to get caught up in building this one path and completely forget about everything else. So I don't know. I really enjoy this one. It's a neat puzzle. It's literally building out a maze.
Yes, it is.
And you're not even building out just one. You're building out multiples, a minimum of 3.
Well, you're building out to score the points on the goals.
Right. There are goal cards out from the very beginning of the game, and those they give you ideas on which way to go from the start. I think I might get 1 each game. I sure as heck don't ever get all 3. But the nice thing is that once one person scores on it, nobody else is shut out. They just score lower points. So I do like that. And even everybody can still score on it, even if you've got an 8-player game. It's just players 4 through 8 are going to only score 1 point rather than 6.
Yep.
So I don't know. Love this one. But again, that is Trailblazers, my number 49.
That did not make my list. My number... Did you say 48?
I said 49.
Okay. I thought you said 48.
No.
My 49 is, we played this at Gen Con for the first time this year with Matt. And we actually picked it up a few months later, I believe. It could be a couple more, 2-3 months later. Anyway, this is Dice Realms.
Oh, okay.
This is all about customizing your dice
Yeah.
throughout the game to score points. That's what all you're doing is you're rolling your dice, you're getting things. You're going to be taking off parts of your dice, putting on new spots of your dice, just to get more points or things to get you the things you need to get more points. But yeah, I love the construction of the dice. I mean, you could say it's a deconstruction construction because you're deconstructing the dice you started with to construct.
Basically,
and
it's
you can
dice crafting.
dice crafting. That's the word we're looking for because that's what it says on BGG. Anyway, but you can get more dice as you go.
Yeah.
You're picking as long as you've got the items you need to get more dice. And there's one dice that's just nothing but points, and you can just upgrade that one and just start scoring points. But yeah, that is my 49.
All right, my number 48 is yet another one from last year, from 2023. This is again one we picked up at Gen Con and played like that night at home. I've taught it to a lot of people. This is based in the Wild Wild West.
Oh, okay.
This
I
is
thought that's
wild.
what it was going to be.
This is Wild Tiled West. This is a polyomino placement game where everybody has their town boards, which actually incorporates several towns that you're trying to cover up in order to score points. The difference with this polyomino game versus others is that, well, one, only certain polyominoes are available to you each round, which again, a lot of polyomino games are like that. This one is dictated by the roll of some dice, though. The board is out, you roll some dice, and those dice dictate which tiles are available to you. If you really want something else, you can maybe pay a gold to jump over one to get to the next one, in some cases, but not all. But the biggest difference with this one is that in most polyomino games, you are trying to fill the board. That is not the case with this one. Matter of fact, there is no way to fill the board in the time allotted. So you're trying to cover up specific icons in order to get advantages, whether to save yourself from losing points at the end of the game, to go up on the income track, or to get more bullets for the sheriffs to use against the bandits that are blocking your paths. You're trying to cover up the cities rather than the desert areas, because the cities will gain you points, whereas the desert areas will probably just get you some other things, but they don't get you points. But you still have to connect everything. Everything has to be connected in some fashion. It's just a really neat, I'm going to say it again, it's a neat puzzle. And I love polyominoes because I like that Tetris feel. And this one, I can still try to get that Tetris feel, but I find myself getting a little too Tetris-y with it, and I lose the game. So I got to give up the Tetris feel on this one, and that's hard to do for me, but I do love it. This is, so my number 48, Wild Tiled West.
Yeah, this is the one I told you about after I heard it on a podcast. I was like, yep, that's going to be one she's going to want.
And it was.
Yeah, look at that.
It was one of the only ones that I purchased at Gen Con.
Okay. So my number 48 is the second of the Acquire-esque type of games. This is Acquire.
Okay. It's not really Acquire-esque, it is. Okay.
It's the same kind of stuff. But yeah, this is all about building hotels, trying to get them to merge together to make your stocks that you have worth more money. You could have a stock of a small hotel and a big hotel comes over. You got a chance to sell those stocks and get stocks of the new hotel. But this is all about the money. The money's going to get you points, and you're going to want to keep upgrading your stocks and getting more stocks and trying to push to get what you have to the biggest hotel, so you make the most money at the end of the game, and the person with the most money is going to win. So
yeah.
But yeah, so it's played on a grid. I can't remember. We do not buy the cards. You are getting.
No, you are drawing the tiles, and you have a certain number of tiles in front of you, and you have to play one of those.
I get the three of them mixed up.
Yeah, no, I agree. They all play very similar, but yes.
But yeah, so you've got tiles in front of you, and you're going to play a tile at a time to add to a new hotel or start a new hotel. But once it gets so so much out there, there's no longer a place to build a
Right.
new one. So
You have to add to
yeah, so
something
it's
that's already there.
very cool the way that does it. Like I said, it's actually a grid and not the little windy circle like in
Like
Big Boss,
yeah.
which I like. That's why it was a little bit lower though, and that's why this one's a little higher. But yes, that's Acquire, my number 48.
All right, my number 47. We're going to go back a few years, more than a few years. I found this at Goodwill early on in our collection.
You know how many games you found at Goodwill early on in our collection?
Yeah, a lot. A lot.
We have a room of them over there.
Yep. So this one is, it's about making sets to fill orders. What do you think it is?
Bizarre.
Yeah. That description got you to bizarre.
Well, we got it at Goodwill long ago.
Okay. It is one of the few Goodwill finds that has remained in our collection all these years. We don't pull it out a lot, but oh my gosh, I love this game.
We've played it a lot.
We
though.
have played this one a lot. But with this one, it is all about trading out stones in order to fill orders. So you have just a pile of stones in the middle of the table, all different colors. I think there's five different colors. And a couple of market cards. And the market cards change out. The game comes with like 12 double-sided market cards. And you use any 2 in any given game. So they're constantly changing. Well, I don't think we've ever played with the same 2 identical cards. And the market cards may simply be pay 2 blue and get 3 green and a white. Or pay 1 green and get a red, yellow, and blue. Whatever.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. So you can do either way, and they're all, for the most part, good trades. So you are trying to trade out stones in order to fill one of the 4 order cards that are up. And the order cards may want 2 yellows and 3 whites, or 1 of each, or 5 yellows, or however, whatever that card happens to be that's up. And then the only problem is you can only have so many stones in your possession at a time. You're only allowed, there's a hand limit basically. So you can't just go hog wild and get a ton of stones because you can't keep them. So I don't know, I love this one. It is really thinky.
Yes, I'll say it for you. It's really cool because you have to puzzle out what stones you need and how you're going to get those stones traded in to get to this stone before somebody else can beat you, get to that bazaar and take it away from you.
You couldn't resist, could you?
Nope, I had to say it.
I was going to say the word thinky. As a matter of fact, I did say the word thinky. I was going to avoid the word
you
puzzle.
did say thank you. I seen it brewing. I was like, I'll just say it to her.
Anyway, that is my number 47. Yes, 47, Bizarre.
Okay. My number 47. When we started the list, I thought, okay, I'm going to just delete all the legacy games.
Okay.
One made it through somehow.
Oh.
And it made it all the way up to 47. And if a legacy game is going to make my list, what one would you think would it be?
Well, we really enjoyed the first Pandemic, but I don't think that was it. It has to be Clank.
Nope.
No?
It would be Pandemic Legacy
Really?
Season 1.
Okay.
This one, we just got started with Season 0, but I did not really enjoy Season 2.
I
know
loved
you loved
Season
Season
2.
2. I just felt like
did.
it stalled out way too much.
Oh, that's 'cause
Although we had a year in between it, though, but I think the game itself stalled out,
Okay.
and I was losing interest by the time we got halfway through it. But
Okay.
we finished it out. Season 1 kept me in the game the entire time, and it's like, oh, geez, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
What else is going to come out on us? And so, but
Yeah.
yeah, I really liked the whole. Season 1, I think, is actually the first Legacy game that we played
It is.
too.
It is, yes.
So yeah, but
Hence why it's shadow boxed.
yes,
Here in the game
Pandemic
room.
is what got us into the hobby for good. We'd played games before, but Pandemic is like going. There's games like this.
Pandemic
out there
is
now?
the one that cemented our addiction. Yeah.
But yeah, so and then when it came out of Legacy, we had to get it. We'd heard a bunch of good things about it. We finally got to play it years ago. But
It's been a while, yeah.
and it's still, I keep looking up at the shadow box. Yeah, it's Pandemic on steroids, basically.
It is.
Because there's more to it. There's
It's
a
a good
lot
one.
of, wait, what? Moments in the game.
Yes. Yes. There are definitely a few of those.
So yeah, and it's definitely more than just going around and keeping the virus down.
Yeah. Well, and I like the fact that, don't get me wrong, I love Pandemic 1, and I enjoyed 2. I'm looking forward to 3. I like the fact that they tied them in. There was that aha moment in 2 that you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, and I've heard 0 ties into all of it too, so I'm kind of curious how they're going to do that, since 0 is set during the Cold War.
Yeah, well, 1 and 2 is supposed to tie into 0.
But 0 is the predecessor.
Yes, it's
So I'm not
it's
quite
going to
sure how
explain to you all the stuff that happened in 1 that led to 2.
Okay, I don't know. I'm looking forward to figuring it out.
Anyway, but yeah, that is my, what number are we on?
47.
47, Pandemic Legacy Season 1.
All right. My number 46 is a trick-taking game. We picked this up. We played it at the retreat and had to order it online because I could not find it anywhere after that. Year and a half ago. Year ago, whatever.
You played it at New Year's?
Yes.
Yep, I figured. Okay.
My number 46 is Cat in the Box. We got a chance to play this one at the retreat year before last with Jeff and another lady, and we had a good time with it. And I've played it many times since, and everybody seems to have really enjoyed it. So how this one plays, and this was the gimmick to this one, is that there are no suits. The cards are all black. There are 5 of every number, 1 through 9, all black. The idea is that as you play the card, you're assigning it a color. So everybody starts out with a card that says, that has their pieces on it that says they have all 4 colors available: red, yellow, green, and blue. Red is always trump, but you cannot lead trump until trump has been broken. Somebody has trumped something. That breaks trump, and now trump is free to play freely. So, but in order to do so, you have to claim you are out of another color. For instance, if somebody had played a blue 9 or had played a 9 and declared, okay, this is blue on the little pad in the middle of the table, then, but I don't have anything, obviously there's nothing that's going to beat a blue 9 other than trump, but say I'm going to trump this one. So I say, okay, I don't have any blue. I take my marker off of the blue indicator on my player board and put that into whatever trump color, whatever trump number I'm going to play, whether it be a 1 or a 5 or whatever. I'm trumping this suit. I can no longer claim I have blue cards. If somebody else plays blue, I have to throw off now. I cannot follow with a blue card because I don't have any more. So it's just really a neat mechanism where your cards are not decided until you're physically laying them down on the table. But the trick is that there are 5 of every suit and only 4 suits, or I'm sorry, 5 of every number, but only 4 suits. So at some point, and I've had more games and more hands end this way than not, there's going to be a paradox. Basically meaning that if I'm out of blue cards, but the only thing left is a blue 4, and I don't have any 4s, or I can't play blue because I've already trumped out and declared I didn't have any blue, I cannot legally play any card in my hand. I've now caused a paradox, and the round is over. And then the scoring is different based on how many tricks you took, whether you guessed how many tricks you were going to take, whether you caused the paradox or not. I love the complexity of this game, but yet it's still that same old familiar trick-taking mechanic. Yes. And I love trick-taking games to begin with, and this just added that little tweak to it that just makes it enjoyable. So yeah, that is my number 40, were we on 46? 46, Cat in the Box.
Yeah, this is the one both of us looked at as going, how is that going to work?
How is that going to work?
Another cooperative game.
Well, no, it's not
trick-taking
cooperative.
game. Oh, no, it's not.
This was not cooperative.
Another trick-taking game, though, but there's no suits.
Yeah, no suits on this one. It was kind of like with the crew. How do you make a cooperative trick-taking game work?
They did it.
They did it,
But we do not need the colossal version of this one.
but I want it. I want it so bad.
So, speaking of colossal versions,
Oh, okay.
my number 46, right? Correct?
Yes.
Oh.
Are you going the right way?
My number 46 is not colossal, it was just epic. And it's a game we do not have. We didn't back it on Kickstarter. After we've played it, we was like, dang, we should have backed this on Kickstarter. We knew 2 people that had it. I think one of them has now sold his copy of it, though. But this is Return to the Dark Tower.
Yes, he sold his copy.
So this was based off of, this is the sequel to Dark Tower. The game Dark Tower.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah. It's a remake of it.
Yeah, but this is Return to the Dark Tower.
Yes.
So it's the sequel to it.
Okay.
Anyway, it's basically an adventure, and you're trying to, you have goals that you have to meet.
Yeah.
And you're basically trying to do whatever you can, moving around to meet the goals that you need to get without having the skulls fall out of this castle and land in your area. But not now that you have to clean them up. But this was
and it's cooperative, which I like. So
cooperative.
Everybody's trying to clean them up. But yeah,
it's pretty cool because it works on an app now, and it still moves. It still makes that the 80s style electronic game sound as it moves and everything. And I do like how it remembers which spot of the map did not have their, because you have powers and certain doors open, and sometimes it shows you your symbol.
Yeah.
And it says, okay, that power no longer works for you right now for this round. And it just made it a little bit different. And the whole time you're putting skulls into the castle and just hoping they're not going to come out on you on their turn, that you'd have to clear it up because you're like going, okay, I'm clean. I can go do this and this and this now. And then that part happens, and now you got 6 skulls on your side. It's like, crap. Now I got to do all this cleanup before I can come over and do that. So, but this is, I mean, it reminds me a little bit of The Spill.
Yes.
Because you don't know what's going to happen, where this stuff's going to fall out of the tower at, though. But it's more enjoyable than The Spill.
Okay.
Anyway, that is my number 46. Correct, yes. Return to the Dark Tower.
All right, my number 45 is one that we picked up at Gen Con several years back. We happened upon it by accident. Well, not by accident. We found it in the Entrepreneur's Alley at the time. And it just intrigued us. Just the subject of it intrigued us. And it has since, and this is going to totally give it away for him, it has since inspired more than one vacation. This is trekking the national parks. Now, we have always liked to road trip. That has always been a thing we've enjoyed. But the year after we picked this one up, we took a 2-week road trip out west just because. And it turned into, we had taken this game with us with the idea that we were going to visit a couple national parks and play the game while we were out. And we did. But we ended up turning this into literally a national park vacation.
Yeah.
We ended up buying the national park book within the first day, and that more or less dictated our entire vacation. It was wonderful. But how this one works, this one plays, everybody's playing a traveler. You're picking up cards into your hand, and those cards you use in dual purpose. You can either use them to move, or you can use them to collect the parks. Each of the parks may require certain things. You may have to have a couple of green mountains and a couple of hikers, or different color cards. Meanwhile, the cards also have numbers on them, and those numbers allow you to move around the board by different segments. And then wherever you stop, you can pick up the stone that's in that location, and then you add the set collecting aspect to it as well. So there's a number of different mechanisms going on. But I really enjoyed this one. I always have. I know there's been a couple other sequels to it since, and as a matter of fact, there's been a second edition came out that refined the rules a little bit. I've never played second edition.
Nope.
It is one I definitely want to at some point. But I just absolutely love this game. I always have. Like I said, we've played it in a multitude of national parks now, and I don't know. I've always loved this one. But anyway, that is, I know I've said that multiple times.
Yep.
I'm going to say it again.
Do you love it?
I do.
Okay. She loves it,
Anyway,
people.
That is my number 45, trekking the national parks.
But you love it so much, it's only 45. So she doesn't love it that much. Anyway, my number 45 is a colossal game. This is from Bezier Game, and it was a Kickstarter that we backed. We backed the basic game and all of its fun stuff that went with it, with all the expansions, and then we also backed the colossal version of it as well, which still
This made
sits
your number
right there and not been played
I'm
yet.
shocked that this is this high up for you.
Why is that?
I don't know. I didn't think that you liked this one that much.
This is Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Who do you think bought the game in the first place? I got the game first.
Okay.
I love this game.
Okay.
But only 45 positions loved this game.
Okay.
But yeah, this is Castles of Mad King Ludwig. This is all about building the castle of Mad King Ludwig. And you are getting weirdly shaped rooms to connect them somehow to your castle itself. You've got stairs that can go down into the dungeon area, basically. You've got tiles that are going out on the lawn. The Kickstarter version of it that just came out, the bigger, it looks really great. They upgraded all the components on it, and now they even have an expansion in there that you have these big towers that go on it, and the towers, if you get that tile and get it built, then the tower is going to give you a special power, I believe. But yeah, I've always really liked this. But yeah, it's all about building that castle, and you get points. You get points throughout the game for the different tiles you pull out the different tiles you actually put into the castle, because they're going to score with. This is going to score this and this and this if this is around it, or however many of these are around it, or it's going to minus points if this is around it, and
all the scoring is based on what's around it.
I like this, and apparently she didn't know that, but yes, this is Castles of Mad King Ludwig, my number 45.
We're pulling the Colossal Edition out this weekend. Just saying. All right, my number 44 is a card game. It's a big box card game.
Well, that narrows it down.
You're no help. It's a big box card game based in nature. In fact, we're getting ready to play it for our Play Through Our Collection videos. As he leans over to look at those shelves. Anyway, my number 44 is Meadow. This game is, it's a card game where you are playing out into your tableau nature cards and bug cards and animal cards and potentially fences and mailboxes and things like that.
Oh my.
Anyway, all right, so the idea with this one is you are placing cards out, but in order to place a card out, you either have to have your scenery card on the bottom, or icons have to match up. Like the bird can only go on top of the worm, or that type of thing. The cards progressively get larger, or get the icons go in a progressive order. You get the cards, and this is one of the things I think that attracted me the most to this game, is I really like the way you pick up the cards. It is very similar to Quadropolis, which is, I don't know if that ranked higher or not. I'd have to look. I haven't looked at where that one fell, but it's another game I really enjoy, where you are placing down, you've got fence pickets, essentially, that you are placing down along the edge of the cardboard that depict how far in the card is you're going to take. So if I put my number 3 fence picket down, I am picking up the 3rd card from that direction. Or if I'm putting my number 2 down, I'm picking up the 2nd card from that position. And then you can go at it from a number of different angles, and that's how you get your cards. But if I play my number 3 in this position, well, first, nobody else can go in that position for the rest of the round. But second, I don't have my 3 anymore. So I can't come from the bottom and go 3 cards up. I have to choose my 1, 2, or 5, or 4. But you can also take these exact same fence pickets and flip them around and use them on the campfire for special abilities that let you do special things. the fence pickets each have a power on them.
Yes.
And if you use your fence picket at the campfire, then you get that special ability. But again, it's a one time per round thing. And if you use the fence picket for the number, you don't get the special ability.
Yeah, I know
So
when
I
you
thought
go
that
to,
was really kind of cool.
when you go to the campfire, you're also claiming a spot around the
yeah,
campfire.
you're claiming one of the.
And you only have a certain amount that you can claim,
Yes.
though, but the one who has
Yeah.
the most claimed is better off. But
Yes, you get more points that way. So, I don't know, just a really fun game. Very pretty, very serene. A lot of strategy involved in what cards you're going after because of the icons involved. Yeah, it's a good one. But my number 40, where were we? 43? 44. 44 is Meadow.
all right. My number 44 is a crossover.
Oh,
It
okay.
was your number 99. This is a game I have not played in a while. If I'm not mistaken, when we first got it, was up in the high 20s when it first showed up on my list, but now it's down to 44.
Okay.
Probably because we haven't played it as much. I just remember liking it a lot. But the bad thing is I can't remember a lot about the game. I just remember the little stingrays. But this is Aquatica. The little stingrays that you can put out for the different powers.
Yeah.
I remember the player boards where you're tucking cards in to use the power on it, and it just gets pushed through. And the more you do, the farther it goes in. Then when it gets all the way in, it's gone.
See, I just got to play this on New Year's Eve. So I remember a little more about it than you do, I guess.
Well, yeah,
but
it's
yeah,
been
I
a few
did
years
just
since we
get to
played
play
this,
it
so.
because I think you were playing something else at the time. But yeah, you're pushing the cards. The cards have various abilities on them, various icons on them that give you just various actions. And if you take that action, you push the card up one spot. Some of the actions could be to push cards up. The trick being that you cannot score the cards if they're still on your player board.
Right.
You have to kick them off your board and put them into the scoring area. And you have to have a special action to do that. So it's all card play. It's one of those games that you have a handful of cards and you're building the cards. You're getting more throughout the game, but you're playing the cards to do certain actions, and then you add to it with the bubbles on your cards.
Yep.
You add to it with your location card bubbles, I should say. Your action cards are just played out, and then there's one card that you play that picks them all back up again. So it's one of those types of mechanisms. So yeah, it is a great one. I really like this one.
Everything she just said here and everything she said in the first video
At 99,
at number 99. But yeah, that is Aquatica, my number 44.
Yeah, it's a good one. We have an expansion we need to get played. All right, my number 43 is another new one. We got to play a very short demo game of this at Gen Con. You already know what it is. We only played one short demo game. Well, no, I guess we played two. But only one of them we bought. And we picked it up shortly thereafter. But this is Spellbook. All right, so Spellbook is played out. Every player has 8 cards, and you all have the same 8 cards. Each card has different abilities on it, essentially. Everybody is trying to garner spells in order to put into their books to open up different abilities. It's a neat, I'm going to use that word again.
It's a neat puzzle.
It is a neat puzzle in terms of how long do I hold out to get more of the red stones, the red spells, to open up my red spell even further. Or do I just open it up at the lowest and hope that I can use this other spell to boost it later on? Because again, each one of them, once you've opened up a certain level of spell, you can use that level and everything below it. So you want to open up the higher spells, but not always possible. So you've got several options in terms of getting little spell tokens. There is a pool out in the middle of the table that you can take some from. Every so often that empties. When it gets full, it empties off. So you may lose what you were looking for. You can draw them out of a bag. It just depends on what the actions are that you've got. So, but yeah, I really enjoy this one. I want to explore it a lot more. I have only gotten to play a couple of times, but yeah, this is Spellbook, my number 43.
43. My number 43 is a dice manipulation game, and I'm not sure that you're a big fan of it. This is Dice City.
I like this one.
Okay.
I don't think it's in my top 100, but I do enjoy playing it.
So this is a card placement drafting game with dice. You have a grid of starter cards out on your board, and you are rolling dice to place in areas depending on the color of dice and what number it is. You're going to place it on your board, and you're going to do whatever those dice are saying. You don't have to do it in a certain order. You can do it however you're doing it across. But it's going to allow you to get upgraded cards to go into your new slot, to your slots. It's one of those dice manipulation games, but everybody has the same amount of dice, so you're not going to gain dice.
Everybody
but you're
starts
roll
in
your
the exact same position. Everybody's board is identical.
And
It's
you're just
a matter
building
of
it depending
how you build it out.
how you're building it. So so you're putting it on resources to get sheep and wood and stone and all this to be able to get these cards, or you have it where you can go to battle and fight the people up front to get more points, or you're going to ship and you're going to get points for the ships that you're shipping with and everything. It's really cool, and I love those dice manipulating games.
Yeah. It's a very simplistic dice game.
And this
really
we didn't buy this new. We picked this up off of a Facebook thing. So
I don't remember how we got it.
So that is number 43, Dice City.
My number 42 is all about kitties and quilts.
Go.
Do you remember which one it is?
Kitties and
Totally
quilts.
threw him off. Yes, it has a little picture of Goose all curled up on a quilt on the cover.
Oh, okay.
Goose is our orange kitty. This is Calico. So Calico is, you are basically drafting quilt pieces to put onto your player board. And your player boards are dual layered, which I love because they hold the pieces in nicely. But you are trying to form certain patterns. There are a number of different cats in the game, and each cat wants a different type of pattern in a different configuration. So you're trying to build out the patterns in those configurations to attract the cats, because that's going to give you extra points. You are trying to get groups of the same color together, because that's going to allow you to put buttons, and that's going to get you extra points. Meanwhile, you've got 3 scoring tiles in the game. Mind you, there's 4 that come with the game, or there's 6. Now I don't remember. You only use 3 per game though, so it's always a variation, and not everybody has to use the same 3. So you pick your 3, or you choose randomly, and you put them on your board, and those 3 tiles indicate your ultimate goals for the game, in addition to trying to attract the cats and trying to get your buttons, and so they may say that you need a pattern of 3 and 3, which means you need 3 of the same pattern and 3 of the same color. Now, those patterns and colors don't always necessarily have to be exactly the same, but you need 3 blues and 3 greens, or 3 polka dots and 3 stripes, and in order to score that pattern. And you can score half of it by just doing the colors, or you can score all of it by doing all of it, or that type of thing. It's tricky.
It's very tricky.
I'm lucky to get 1, maybe 2 of those tiles even partially done. I don't think I've ever gotten all 3.
This is one of those games that you got to just decide at what point in the game you're like, I'm not going to score that. I'm not even going to try now. Let's just go for points over here and over here, and get the little cats on the board.
Again, it's a neat puzzle. That's exactly what it is, and the cats are cute, and I love the box, and I love the artwork on this one. I love the components. I love the puzzle of it. But that is Calico, my number 42.
My number 30, 30? My number 42. It's a 32. My number 42 is a game you can't stand.
Uh-oh.
And we have expansions for it. I love this game. I just don't like being shredded on the end of the game.
Oh, that game. Yeah.
This is Galaxy Trucker. This is the coolest game. You got a pile of tokens face down in the middle of the board. You've got a board in front of you of the shape of your ship, and now you've got to build a ship with those tiles in the middle. So And when everybody says go, you start flipping tiles and just start building your ship as fast as you can. There's some timers going on out there, so you're getting so far, you're just like, okay, we got 2 more minutes, guys. And you just keep on building until you're going, and then you keep flipping the over. So then once the last one's turned over, everybody's got to stop. That's the ship. Now you got to go through space with it. And there's going to be meteors coming out.
And this
There's
part I
gonna
don't mind. I just don't like the building
You don't
part
like
of
building
it.
Yeah, but yeah, because
Too
now you
stressful.
got to worry about the space pirates. You got to worry about meteors coming through. You're trying to get cargo to be able to deliver to where you're going, but it's all about how much of your ship's going to be left by the time you get to where you need to go.
How badly are you limping into the final turn?
But this game's a riot. I mean, when we first played it, I just did not like the part when we were going through your cards, though. But there are parts in this game where you can stop it and you can look at the upcoming cards.
I don't remember.
And then you shuffle it up, and then
I've
you turn
blocked
it
it
over,
out.
and you start playing the cards out, and that's when the ships. Because if you get hit with a meteorite and you don't have a shield, that part of the ship's falling off, and if it's only connected by that little spot that just got hit, now all that part of your ship's falling off. Yeah, so you got crew compartments, you got alien crew compartments, you've got cargo holds, you got to build shields, you've got to build engines, you've got to build guns. It's just insane. But yes, I love the game. She can't stand it.
I do not like this game.
This is number 42, Galaxy Trucker.
This would be a good one for the 24. For the 24 live, I just won't play that one. I'll sit out that round. But it'll be fun. I'll watch it from the other room.
We'll just start off with it.
Okay, no.
You caught on click. Okay, so what's your 41?
All right. All right, my number 41 is, well, turnabout's fair play, because you don't care for this one. This is my favorite Stefan Feld game.
Oh. I don't despise this game like you despise Galaxy Trucker.
I don't despise Galaxy Trucker, I just don't like it. Anyway, this is the Castles of Burgundy.
Oh, I knew.
Okay.
I knew.
Now, this is one, we still have the original game. I did not go for the...
It's right there.
It is, yes. We did not buy the second edition because, or the revised edition, whatever they called it. I didn't like the colors on it. I thought it was a little, they didn't flow very well for me. I thought about backing the big one, the newest Kickstarter. However, I feel like we've got so many other big box Kickstarters that we don't play now because they're so much harder to get out. I didn't want that to happen to this game. So we didn't buy it. This is, again, a dice manipulation game, which really makes me wonder, or dice placement, dice manipulation, which makes me wonder why you don't like it. But everybody has 2 dice. You're rolling them at the start of the round, and there are ways to manipulate the numbers using workers. But you are using those dice to either ship product or to pick up supplies or to go out into the shipyards and get tiles for your board, which is ultimately the goal of the game. This is where the bulk of your points are going to come from, is that you can use the numbers to pick up pieces out of the center of the board. Those pieces then can go into a special holding area, and then once you have a dice that number that will allow you to place it on your board, you can place it on your board in specific locations. The board is color-coded based on the tiles. In the meadows, I may need a 2, 4, and a 6, and if I rolled a 5, I can't place it there. But at the same time, it has to be up against something else, so I can't just go across the board to this other 6 meadow way across the board. I have to connect it. I have to be adjacent to something else I've already placed. But as you complete areas, then you get extra points. Those are scoring points. And I don't know, I've always loved this one. I don't get to play it often because somebody else does not care for it.
Well, we played, to be honest,
We
we
did play
played
a
this
lot
a
of
lot
it.
when I first
We
got it.
did.
I actually bought it because
You
I
did.
actually wanted it, and we played this a lot. It's
We
just,
did.
This, I'm not saying I hate the game. There's a lot more Stefan Feld games that I like better than this
Yes.
now.
Yes.
So it just fell down the list, and if we're going to play a Stefan Feld game, this is not top of the list for me to play.
No, that one will show up later on his list, I'm
sure it will. But anyway, so yeah, so I mean, it's not a horrible game. I will play it.
Okay, I'll remember that. Too bad we've already
But-
played the Seas.
Yep. Darn. Anyway. But yeah, so it's not a bad game. I
Okay.
just don't prefer it over some of his other stuff.
Maybe
Okay.
there's another one we'll play on the 24. You can sit this one out. Anyhow, that's my number 41, Castles of Burgundy.
My number 41 is we're going to go back to a really bad time in history.
I have an idea. It's one of two, but I can't imagine the other one has made it this far up since we don't own it yet. I'm
No,
going
we
to
do not
guess,
own it yet.
I'm going to guess, what is it called? Freedom.
This is Freedom, the
Freedom.
Underground
Okay.
Railroad. This is all about trying to help the slaves
Yes.
escape their captive and basically
Yeah.
getting them up to Canada so they could be free.
Yeah.
So you are moving things around on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You're also paying for cards with certain tokens you're going to get during the
Yeah.
game, and make things disappear on the board or play the cards to make the. But yeah, every round you have a new slave trader that comes in, and you've got to have room in the
You've got to have room in the plantations,
to put them. If not,
Otherwise-
they automatically go up to the.
I don't remember the area they call it, but you're only
I
allowed
don't
so
remember.
many,
Yeah,
and you lose
I
the
don't
game.
want to say it's the ones who didn't make it, but
No, there's a box up, and I don't remember what they call it, but there's a box up at the top of the board. There's 15 of them. I think
Yes.
I think in a 2-player game you're allowed 15, and once that 15 fills up, you've lost the game.
but yeah.
But I don't remember
But the whole
what it
game is trying to get them up the road and trying to get them out of the way because
Yeah. The hunters
are coming for them
Yeah.
along these certain lines. So you don't want to stop on a line because it's going to attract them and have them start coming up that line.
Yeah.
But you're trying to get them up to Canada the best way you can, plus getting coins because the coins you're going to need to be able to do some of the actions on
Yeah.
the other board. But
This is a
it's
tough
I mean,
one.
you've got to. There's times you just have to sacrifice.
I hate that.
And
yes,
it really sucks at that part of it though.
Yeah.
But this is the game that kind of brings you aware of what
it's
they
a
went
very
through back
somber
then.
theme, and it is a hard
And
cooperative game to win.
Yeah, and it's very historical because
Yeah.
all the cards
It is
coming up is
hard.
things that actually happened. And I've learned a lot more about the Underground
Yeah.
Railroad than
Yes.
I ever did when I was in school
Yeah.
that I could think of, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, I enjoyed the game. I mean,
Yeah.
is it wrong to have enjoyed the play of the game?
No.
I mean, because of the theme of the game. But yeah, I mean the play of the game, the way the game plays is
Yeah.
enjoyable. I mean it's technically a cube pusher though.
Yeah, it is a cube pusher.
But
It
this is one of the games that we have that is very educational,
Yes. Yeah.
and it's not for everybody either though.
No, and I wasn't sure I'd like this one because of the theme when we got it. And I'm still kind of, it's a hard
Yes,
cooperative.
it is very hard
It
cooperative.
is
to
a
win.
very hard I don't know that we've actually won this one yet.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Probably because we won't make the sacrifices that we need to make.
No, we've had to make some
sometimes.
sacrifices here. and
Yeah,
there, though.
well, we still haven't won yet.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah,
Anyway.
so that is Freedom, the Underground Railroad, my number 41.
That is it for this portion of the list. We'll be back next week with 40 to 31.
She can count.
I'm starting to learn how to count backwards.
There you go. So until then, we'll see you at the next one.